CM Punk update revealed. Roman Reigns speaks. WWE's big mystery. MITB change confirmed. WWE's next big twist. What if CM Punk being off WWE television isn't just a simple absence, but a much bigger plan that fans haven't figured out yet? And why did Roman Reigns choose this exact moment to speak while WWE is making major changes around Money in the Bank? The answers might be more complicated than they seem, because right now, the entire WWE landscape feels like one giant puzzle where every piece is moving at the same time. WWE fans have learned one thing over the years: when something feels quiet, that's usually when something big is happening behind the scenes. And lately, there has been a lot of silence, a lot of questions, and a lot of speculation. CM Punk's status has become one of the biggest talking points. Roman Reigns has made people pay attention again, and the Money in the Bank situation has added another layer of confusion. So today, we're breaking down everything. What's really going on with CM Punk? Why is Roman Reigns making headlines again? And what does the Money in the Bank change actually mean for WWE moving forward? Before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because if you love WWE news, rumors, breakdowns, and the kind of wrestling chaos that makes you stare at your screen and say, "Wait, what just happened?" then you're in the right place. Also, drop a comment and tell me what you think, because honestly, WWE fans have some of the best theories when things get mysterious like this. Let's start with the biggest question on everyone's mind: CM Punk. CM Punk has always been one of those wrestlers where his presence changes the entire atmosphere. Whether fans love him, dislike him, or argue about him online for 3 hours straight, one thing is impossible to deny: when CM Punk is around, people pay attention. That's why his absence has immediately created questions. Because this isn't just any superstar disappearing from television. This is CM Punk. The guy who returned to WWE after years of controversy, the guy who instantly became one of the biggest attractions in the company, and the guy who has been involved in some of WWE's most talked about moments. So when fans don't see him, the internet starts doing what it does best: creating theories. Some fans think it's all part of a storyline. Others believe there is a bigger reason behind the scenes. And then you have that group of fans who immediately go, "Something is happening," before we even know anything. Wrestling fans really do have a sixth sense sometimes. It's like people can smell a storyline twist from 3 miles away. But the interesting thing about WWE is that sometimes the absence itself becomes part of the story. Think about it. Some of the biggest returns and shocking moments in wrestling history happened because someone disappeared first. WWE has always understood the value of making people wonder. Sometimes the silence creates more attention than a weekly appearance ever could. And with CM Punk, every little detail gets analyzed. A simple social media post becomes a headline. A missing appearance becomes a mystery. A backstage rumor becomes 1,000 different theories. That's the power of having a star like Punk. But while everyone is asking where CM Punk is, another major name has entered the conversation again: Roman Reigns. The tribal chief has spent years being one of WWE's most protected and important characters. His entire run has been built around control, power, and always being one step ahead. But the interesting thing about Roman Reigns is that whenever he speaks, people listen. It doesn't matter if he says one sentence or cuts a long promo. Fans know that when Roman appears, something usually matters. And now Roman Reigns is back in the spotlight with an announcement that has created another wave of questions. What does it mean for his future? What does it mean for the bloodline? And more importantly, what does it mean for the balance of power in WWE? Because the world of WWE has changed a lot. The bloodline story completely reshaped how fans viewed Roman. He went from a dominant champion into a character who felt almost untouchable. But eventually, every empire starts facing challenges. That's the thing about wrestling. The strongest character can look unbeatable for years, but one moment can change everything. A betrayal. A surprise return. A new challenger. One decision can completely rewrite the story. And Roman Reigns knows that better than anyone. His entire character has been built around staying ahead of everyone else. He's not the kind of person who reacts. He's the person who creates the reaction. That's why fans are paying attention. Because when Roman makes an announcement, the question isn't just what did he say? The real question is why now? Timing in WWE is everything. And this timing is interesting because it comes while another major WWE event is going through changes. Money in the Bank. The Money in the Bank concept has become one of WWE's most unpredictable traditions. The briefcase has created some of the greatest surprises in wrestling history. It's a symbol of opportunity, but it's also a symbol of danger. Because the person holding that briefcase can change the entire direction of WWE overnight. A champion can lose everything in seconds. A new star can be created instantly. A rivalry can become completely different. That's why any change involving Money in the Bank gets people talking. Fans immediately start asking questions. Who benefits from this? Who loses? Is WWE setting up a bigger moment? And knowing WWE, there's always the possibility that something small is actually leading to something much bigger. That's what makes wrestling so interesting. Sometimes the smallest details matter. A match change. A missing superstar. A random conversation. A backstage moment. Fans connect all the dots and try to predict the future. Sometimes they're completely wrong. Sometimes they somehow figure everything out weeks early. And honestly, that's part of the fun. But when you put CM Punk's situation, Roman Reigns' announcement, and the Money in the Bank changes together, it creates a very interesting picture. Because all three involve power. CM Punk represents unpredictability. Roman Reigns represents control. Money in the Bank represents opportunity. Those three things coming together in WWE is a recipe for chaos. And WWE thrives on chaos. The biggest moments usually happen when different stories collide. A superstar returns at the wrong time. A champion gets distracted. Someone makes a decision that nobody expected. Suddenly, the entire direction of the company changes. That's why fans are watching closely right now. Because there's a feeling that something is building. Maybe CM Punk's absence leads to a major comeback. Maybe Roman Reigns' announcement sets up the next chapter of a bigger story. Maybe the Money in the Bank change creates a surprise nobody sees coming. Or maybe WWE is simply keeping everyone guessing. And that's exactly what they want. Because when fans are debating, creating theories, and arguing about what happens next, WWE has everyone's attention. But I want to hear from you. What do you think is really happening with CM Punk? Do you believe his absence is part of a storyline, or is there something bigger going on? And what did you think about Roman Reigns speaking out? Was this the beginning of another huge chapter, or are fans reading too much into it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments because WWE discussions are always better when everyone brings their own theories. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like the video and subscribe for more WWE updates, rumors, and deep dives into the biggest stories happening in wrestling. Because right now, WWE feels unpredictable again. And honestly, that's when it's at its most interesting. Thank you for watching, thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Money in the Bank represents opportunity.